but that no possessions of his own part also included clothes.
Oh yes, Daddy.
The live stream where a man got tortured in front of 16 million people.
You're taken blindfolded to a strange apartment and locked inside. You have no contact with the outside world and none of your belongings. You're trapped in an empty room with no food or water.
Damn, no
They've
food or
even
water?
stripped you of your clothing.
No
The only way
undies?
out is to raise $7,000 for the people keeping you captive. And the plot twist? You eagerly signed up for this.
I did. Would y'all do this for me? Like, well, could we do this?
The nightmare that we just described is the exact
I'll give
situation
y'all
that
undies, though.
Tomoaki Hamatsu, also known as Nasubi, found himself in 1998, a Fukushima-born comedian, Nasubi, was hoping for fame when he signed up for Japanese reality TV show Susumu Denpa Shonen, roughly translated as, "Do not proceed, crazy youth." And like a cursed monkey paw curling a finger, the show granted Nasubi's wish for fame.
Like a cursed monkey what? What the fuck does that mean?
The show had a reputation for putting contestants in stressful situations, like forcing them to hitchhike from South Africa to Norway, having another pair of contestants to hitchhike from Hong Kong to London, stranding contestants on an island and asking them to build a raft to escape, or having a contestant carry out Princess Diana's dream for world peace by clearing literal landmines between Thailand and Cambodia.
You want me to clear landmines for $7,000? You out of your monkey beating mind.
The task that Nasubi faced, however, wouldn't take him so far from home. After winning a draw for the role, he was ushered into a small apartment that looked no larger than 8 feet by 6 feet, plus a small kitchenette and a toilet. There, he was told the details of his challenge. He would be kept indoors with no contact to the outside world and no possessions of his own until he could win 1 million yen worth of prizes from mail-in sweepstakes. He would be provided.
He had to get 1 million yen, which is how much? Like $100,000 from sweepstakes? He can't leave until then? That's depressing.
Water and heating, plus a table, magazines, postcards, a radio, and a phone to enter sweepstakes with. But that was it. Anything else he would have to win.
That sounds like a boring show.
Food. The goal was to see whether someone could live entirely off sweepstakes. At the time,
the answer is
sweepstakes
obvious.
were all the rage, and Japan was going through a recession. As a result, some wondered if they could live solely off prizes won through mail-in sweepstakes meant to save money.
Oh Lord, they were desperate.
The Sweepstakes Life segment was an instant success. And this is where Nasubi's unfortunate nickname comes from.
Were they not feeding Nasubi?
The word Nasubi is Japanese for eggplant.
He gotta be packing.
Partly inspired by how his head kind of looked like an eggplant shape. But that no possessions of his own part also included clothes.
Oh yes, Daddy.
And so editors put an animated eggplant over his, well, you know. It all sounds a little like the movie Truman Show, or one of those psychological experiments carried out in the past which are now viewed as horrific and inhumane, with a hidden camera present to secretly record the subjects slowly losing their grasp on reality. Of course, in this case, Nasubi knew he was being filmed. What he didn't realize was that he was already being watched. At first, a segment was cut together and shown every week. Later, the show became so popular that it was being live streamed to a massive audience. 16 million people.
He was back then's Mr. Beast. Hey, this is something Mr. Beast could do.
All over Japan. More viewers than even the record-breaking series finale of Game of Thrones pulled in on HBO in the US. Trapped in an apartment with no connection with the outside world, Nasubi got to work. He was left with a rack of magazines containing mail-in sweepstakes, postcards, and a burning desire to get himself clothed. Day in, day out, he filled out postcards with sweepstakes entries and mailed them out.
You gonna get you some
The first one he
clothes.
entered, it was for an apron. He didn't win it. Aside from the lack of clothes, Nasubi was also tormented by a lack of food. At first, he was given a ration of a tiny piece of bread per day.
I'll be damned if I enter a show where I get a piece of bread per day. I promise you, I'm doing everything in my power to make the show horrible. I'm shitting everywhere. I'm looking at the camera and I'm fucking it. Like these? Like
Barely enough to survive on. Plus, just to rub salt in the wound, a ramen delivery person rang his apartment by accident. Finally, after starving for days, he won a few boxes of fiber jelly beverages, his first real meal since arriving in the apartment. A week later, he won a bag of rice. It was a welcome addition to his food, until he realized he had no way to cook it. Up until then, Nasubi hadn't managed to win anything that would help in his current predicament, like pots or rice makers. So Nasubi tried to eat the rice raw,
bro.
But when that proved disagreeable, he discovered that he could cook in the empty jelly drink containers. He held them close to the stovetop while it was turned on. Once he ran out of rice, Nasubi started to eat dog food and kibble that he won instead. Though sometimes he would win other food prizes like steak, strawberries, or beans. After each and every win, he'd do a victory dance in front of the camera, parading around each new item to the audience watching him every moment of the day.
This nigga is tweaking, bro. Is this what Kai's next month stream's gonna be? He has to raise to a certain amount, he has to win money through sweepstakes? Kai, you have your next idea? Nah, this nigga's tweaking, bro.
As time went on in the apartment, Nasubi continued to rake in the wins, like a brand new bicycle that he excitedly pedaled around before realizing it was useless to him.
Can someone please give this nigga some pants?
I want you jump roping butt booty naked.
TV, though it didn't have an antenna to let him watch anything, and later a PlayStation train simulator game, but no PlayStation to actually play it with. He also found one connection in the world, a stuffed seal that he named Venus, and a doll of anime character Toru Rikishi, which he began talking to. Once he had won a VCR and 2 VHS tapes.
How long has it been? How long has he been in there?
He settled in to watch his first film in 9 months.
9 months?
Oh no! He only watched the TV that was sitting there like a brick for 5 whole months.
He's been in this room for 9 months. Oh my God.
Of the first film, a bicycle race, before settling in to watch the second, a video about how to cure armpit odor. But these films didn't seem to hold Nasubi's interest, unlike one of the other prizes he won. Because once he'd won the PlayStation, Nasubi played it for 3 days straight without sleeping.
He's psychotic, bro. Someone needs to help him, bro. How is everyone just sitting back and enjoying this, bro? This is trash.
For days he sat at the TV, engrossed in controlling trains using a special controller made specifically for the game.
He's playing Train Simulator.
One that had all the controls of a real train.
Train Simulator!
Not just getting to play something, but also getting to watch as the outside world rolled by his train windows. And then, he did something unthinkable. After spending months alone in an apartment without clothes or—
Hey, you're not sensing enough of his butt, bro. I'm seeing crack. Cover that shit, bro.
Certainty of food, he banned himself from playing this one form of entertainment in order to continue progressing towards his goal of 1 million yen worth of prizes. Of course, not all of Nasubi's winnings were so entertaining. At one point, he won a pair of panties that were too small for him to wear.
If I was stuck in a room and I just want a pair of panties, 9 months, bro, 9 months sitting in a room, I'll probably throw them on too. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Leaving him still devoid of clothes. As the show's popularity
He hasn't worn clothes in 9 months.
Occasionally be awoken in the middle of the night by the producers and move from one apartment to another when fans would start to sleuth out his location. And just to add insult to injury, he wasn't even given clothes to travel between apartments, merely being covered in a blanket. Plus, on his first move, the staff forgot to bring his bag of rice up with them and hid it under his table instead of putting it with the rest of his prizes on the second move. But finally, he did it. With a final bag—
They threw this man in a room full of nothing besides a bathroom, a stove, a kitchen, and a sink. Nothing else. He had to win everything else from sweepstakes, even his clothes. Has he not brushed his teeth for 9+ months?
Bag of rice, Nasubi had won 1 million yen worth of rewards. At first, he didn't realize that he had succeeded and set about entering more sweepstakes. So the producers informed him in a way that is just too fitting for the rest of the show. Nasubi awoke with a bang that night. Literally, the producer snuck in and set off a party popper straight in his face, leaving the poor man looking confused and rightfully terrified. As a celebration,
Bro looks like he's been through hell. Oh my lord.
he was given a suit and taken to South Korea, where he spent a day enjoying himself,
A day.
only to be immediately stuck in an apartment there, stripped of his clothes, and left with a Japanese to Korean dictionary and a stack of magazines.
What?
This time, his goal was to win enough rewards to pay for a plane ticket home. The show depicted him saying that he wanted to do it, but Nasubi later revealed on This American Life that he and the show's producers had argued back and forth until Nasubi gave in, exhausted and stuck in a country that he'd made no preparations to be in. And even then, the goal he was presented with wasn't exactly truthful. Nasubi had spent 335 days in the challenge in Japan.
335 days naked, no contact to the outside world. That is fucking blasphemous. That is inhumane. Well, people probably saw a problem with it. How did this not get canceled though? That's terrible, bro.
And now he had to undergo the whole ordeal again, stranded in a different country. But over those 335 days, he had become a sweepstakes entering machine, and not even an unfamiliar language or alphabet could stop him. Starting his new challenge with rations of kimchi and the sweepstakes skills he'd perfected, Nasubi reached the new goal in a mere few weeks, winning prizes like more kimchi, a shipment of bananas, a TV, this time with an antenna so he could have shows on while he worked, and a
Nice.
grill wire. That wasn't good enough for the producers though, so they pushed the goalposts back again and again, turning an economy plane
What the
ticket into a
fuck?
business ticket, then first class. It took him another 4 months.
They would catch the meanest lawsuit, bro. Cause they not even listening to their own rules anymore.
But Nasubi did it and flew back to Japan. And then he was brought to yet another apartment. Nasubi, used to the song and dance by now, started to strip down, only for the walls to fall away and reveal a live studio audience of thousands. Nasubi had done it, and little did he know his entire grueling task had been broadcast to millions of people, every single minute of it,
I'd end up bombing shit. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
with humorous sound effects and laugh tracks over some of his darkest moments. Nasubi later described the toll the show took on his mental and physical health, saying, "Everything was harsh, and every day was like hell back then."
The nigga couldn't work out either. He couldn't have a clean diet. He couldn't work out. He couldn't see nobody. They took everything that a human is and removed it from him. For a year, over a year.
Die, then feel like this. Nasubi's time on the show ended with one last episode where, sitting naked on stage with only a cushion to cover himself, he was interviewed by a pair of hosts and, for the first time, shown clips from his ordeal and how his experience had been monetized. Then, he was interviewed by the press before being moved, still naked for some reason, to a hotel room and interviewed one last time. After the show, Nasubi faced issues like feeling uncomfortable wearing clothes and his speech slowing down.
The nigga became allergic to clothing. That's crazy.
He also reported trouble holding down conversations given he'd only spoken to a delivery person, a doll, and a stuffed animal for over a year. Nasubi
Damn.
later admitted that he felt guilt. His father had never approved of him becoming a comedian, but eventually agreed with his son's career choice with the promise that he would never strip in public as part of it. And he had broken that promise in the most public way possible. His fame also
Why was that a condition with being a comedian? What comedians are just fucking stripping? Why was that a conversation with with his father? What the hell? I guess their comedians are different out there, bro.
into worldwide stardom. However, he did at least earn some recognition from the ordeal. 11 months into the program, he had won a ramen meal. The footage of him enjoying this rare delicacy was then taken and turned into an ad for the ramen brand. His diary from the event was turned into a book series, one which was a bestseller, and he was cast in some movies and TV roles, like a role he had in Kamen Rider, a Japanese show similar to Power Rangers, in
I
which he
think
played a blogger who rode around on the bicycle.
I think Power Rangers copied this show, if I'm not mistaken. I think this came out first and then Power Rangers copied it.
That he had won from a sweepstakes. There is no escape. Long term, Nasubi became a local personality.
Wait, they sold his diary? They took his diary and sold it? That is disgusting.
and provided motivation to those forced to stay indoors during recent pandemic lockdowns. He also climbed Mount Everest for fundraising following the Fukushima nuclear reactor disaster. He later attributed his mental endurance during the climb to the time he had spent naked and alone, getting through the days sending entries to sweepstakes after sweepstakes.
That's
These
terrible,
days,
bro.
Nasubi has his own stage performance company, Eggplant Way. And he's active on Twitter.
Eggplant away. I can't wait to go see some singers on stage just slinging, dangling around. Loop-de-loop, hula hoop. Come up here, get your face slapped with the meat that's big and black.
Seemingly posting about events he attends and shows he's on, including fundraising for earthquake relief and promoting local tourism, all with his signature smile on his face. Even in a time when reality TV has taken off and subathons leave live streamers broadcasting not only their every waking moment.
At least these niggas don't be naked. Well, they can't be naked. OnlyFans, what's the first OnlyFans streamer who gonna go 24, go a whole year naked? Like, when is the OnlyFans streamer gonna stream for a month naked? Y'all need to get y'all fucking game up. They don't need to stream for a month naked because y'all weirdos be giving them money for what they doing already. I need a month compilation of you getting, no,
but their time asleep as well.
Amaranth said, I think that's her name, she said that she got more viewers sleeping than when she is awake. You know how crazy that is?
Nasubi's experience still comes across as especially cruel. There's certainly something
It's
disturbing
100%
about
cruel.
watching through Nasubi's ordeal as he slowly loses weight and grows more unkempt, and seems to lose his grip with reality. Perhaps Nasubi's ordeal was a terrifying early example of reality TV gone mad.
It was.
A live show of someone kept in solitary confinement
It
at
was.
the mercy of the world, with every moment being scrutinized by more people than they can imagine. Maybe Sweepstakes Life is a warning sign of what to avoid in the content cycle that still controls the lives of creators to this day, and that demands constant engagement from audiences.
Yeah, this is why I don't really fuck with creators, bro. I don't really like to fall into like the whole YouTube trap and Twitch channel trap and all that, because you know they always doing something, bro. That's why I like to stay off the map personally. I don't like my face anywhere, to be honest.